Hey guys, it's Kevin with On Point Pro Styles Window Tinting, Gainesville, Georgia. I've got a brand new Mercedes C300 in. This video I want to do something a little bit different. Instead of standard doors and shrinking back windows, let's do some sunroofs. This actually has a two-piece sunroof. It has a pano style sunroof and then a standard size sunroof. Now, I've gone through, done some of the labor, so I don't have to bore you with all the details. Most sunroofs are gonna be done wet shrink, because as you can see, I've already set it up. It's just got some normal fingers in it. So I did an H pattern, I wet it, I did an H pattern, locked the sides, pushed most of the water out on both, and we just gotta shrink those out, and that's pretty much it. Now these are pre-cut patterns, which means I plotted them. The patterns were available, so kind of interested to see how they fit anyways. But if you were to hand cut, you gotta check the inside borders, see what you've got available to hand cut. A lot of sunroofs, the back one on here has a lot of room. The ceramic border is pretty big, 1/4 of an inch or bigger. On the front, it's 1/8 of an inch or less. So most of them you have to cut really tight. Really tight to the edge in order for it to fit and not bump on the inside. So keep that in mind. Make sure you check the inside. Quick disclaimer, a lot of people talk about, can you tint a sunroof? To me, it's glass. I've put tons of tint on sunroofs for many years and never had an issue, a burst, a break, nothing like that. But take as much care on that as you would just say a back window or a front windshield, and tint at your own risk. I mean, I have no proof one way or another, but I know I've done it a bunch. It's just another piece of glass. So let me grab my heat gun, get it hot, and let's get started. All right, so I cut these with the factory edges on the front and the factory edges on the back, because if you don't know, now you know, you can only shrink toward the factory or side of the roll, not the cutoff edge. So I've set it up to where I want to shrink them this way and that way and not off to the side. These would be very big fingers if they were on the side, but you see how easy that was to heat out. So a little bit of pocket shrink. When you get a U like that, just push it into another finger and then shrink that one out. Run a little air across it. Sometimes fingers will pop up that weren't there before. That's looks like a crease, but it's not. Add a little heat, push it out. All right, so that's this front edge. I'm gonna shrink from the top down this time, so I'm on the front edge of the car. Keep that air blowing in case something pops up, you can take care of it. And this one's done. I'm gonna move to the back and shrink the back out. They're done. All right, so I transferred them from obviously the car over to my peel board. And like I said, these are pre-cut patterns. So I did leave the extra on so that they would shrink just a little bit easier. So I'm gonna peel that off now. Definitely need some blade adjustment. It's Monday and I didn't adjust my blades. So got them peeled, a little tricky, I gotta adjust my blade. So we'll definitely do that after this video, but I like to snap these just a little bit more on the front and back, just for insurance, that I don't fight any fingers on the inside. So I'll do that right here. I take a good corner card, and I'll just kind of sneak it behind it, and just tighten the film up just a little bit extra. Just a little bit more than it was. Same thing on this one. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna clean this basically like we do any other window. I've said it in other videos, I'll say it again. I'm not one to put blades on windows if I don't have to. So I use my fingers to kind of talk me through it. Watch your eyes, because obviously this is gonna rain down on you, which is why I have these convenient seat covers on. Don't ask me where I got them, but they are extremely easy. They slide over the headrest and they just lay out like a blanket. I've covered the electronics and everything in the center, even when as far as protecting the electronics up here. So make sure you take care of your customer's car. It's just common sense. So this felt like all it needs is a good scrub. Get the film that tends to get on glass off, like that. And like I said, this is where it will drip. The tape that you see, I put that on to protect the film more so than the headliner, because the headliner comes out a little bit over the edge in the corners. So when you install it, there's a possibility the tint might tap on the side. So this is a exterior painter's tape, so it's like vinyl. So I can wipe it off with a rag, essentially cleaning it. That just went right in my eye as expected. So we will wipe the tape, hopefully catching any contaminants that might be on the tape. In case the tint touches it, I don't worry too much about it. So that's clean. So we'll give this a spritz and we'll go reverse the film. We're gonna reverse roll it to install it. All right, so I like to roll from the driver's side to the passenger side or left to right. So we'll roll it up as such. Right, jump back in the car, give it one more quick spritz, let it open up. Reasonable install amount. We're going to concentrate on this one corner here, start working it into place, and then we'll dip this corner in, touch the tape a little, and as you can see, the headliner hangs over kind of all the way across. So I'm going to let the front touch, the back sort of drape, come across, peel the liner off of the back. And we'll tuck this corner in, like so, and then we will drape this corner in, sort of just feed it all the way in. Short of taking the sunroof out, I don't know of a better way or a cleaner way to do these, but once you get it past, again, that's a big reason why I use that tape, so make sure there's no light gaps or touching in the back. All right, looks good. Spray it and squeegee. Rag, throw it over your squeegee, buff, what we call buff the edges, soak up any water. We'll give it one more push down and we're done. Front one's finished. Now we can pull all the tape off of the front and the back, and we're good to go. So we'll get that back one installed and we're finished. All right, let's get this back one installed. Now you'll notice I don't have any tape on the back. Again, the reason why I taped the front is because these corners and this whole back hangs over the install portion or the edges of the glass. So like I said, if the tint touched that tape, it's like a vinyl tape that you can clean, so it's safer. Otherwise you might bump against, or you most likely will bump against the headliner, and then you're pulling trash in it. So this one doesn't overhang. We can just go to work. Even though it doesn't overhang, it can still be a little clunky installing, so you still got to be careful. So it's real close on the back side, but just keep it tucked in and you'll be fine. It's really the liner of the film that's wanting to kind of mess with you. So get this up against the glass. I always pull my liner before I put the other side on, just so that I'm able to work this side, bend it as needed to clear things or what have you. And look for light gaps. Check where it's touching. By the way, these are patterns from Film Cut or from the Film Cut software from plotterdepot.com. And as you can see, the front one fit perfect, and so does this one. So, way to go, Film Cut. Great software. If you haven't tried it, try it. It's worth it. I use it every day in my shop, and it is almost always spot on. There it is. Give it one more slam down, a little bit more water in my face. Wipe yourself off. And hit the edges. Now, like I said, this has a pretty big border on it, so I'm just gonna wipe up the excess water from the edges, and that's it. Sunroof's done. So that's it. That's the sunroofs, panel size sunroof, standard size sunroof. We did both. We actually did them in high-tech Ceramic Pro Black, one of my favorites. So we're blocking heat, and it's darker, a little more privacy for the customer. That's what they wanted, that's what they got. So not insanely hard. Like I said, the worst parts of sunroofs is, number one, working on something over the car, so obviously be very careful doing that, but is making sure that you check your borders. How tight do you need to cut it? Is there anything overhanging that the tint might potentially touch? Take care of that beforehand. Protect your customers' cars. Other than that, that's it for this one. See you in the next one.